Hello, everybody. I'm just getting set up here a little bit, trying to set up my workstation so I can try to reduce a little glare. Easy for me to say. Anyway, it's Connie, and I am live. It is Wednesday afternoon, and I'll tell you what, I feel like today is so beautiful that I may very well be staying here talking to myself all morning or all afternoon because everybody else has got to be outdoors, right? I have announcements before I get started. I have a fun project today, and my project is a graduation card that I love to make. This is my go-to graduation card every year, and it is a graduation hat, and it has a tassel that you make on it, and then it expands and is really, really cute. And so I can't wait to show you that. But before I do, I have a list of things I want to remind you about. Oh my gosh. Hi, Stephanie. First of all, I put on here an announcement about free shipping. It is from today through the 25th on orders of $75 or more. And yeah, I know it's torture to have free shipping before the new catalog goes live. I'm turning those lights down, trying to cut my glare. So it's torture to have free shipping right now, and knowing that there's all this new stuff coming up, of course, that's why they do it. So not a shocker. And then the other thing too is they are trying to clearance things out, get those last chance products on the move before they fill their warehouse with all this new catalog stuff. And the new catalog goes live on May 6th. There's a whole bunch of new online exclusives and really fun things. So, of course, they want people to shop. And remember, you have the rewards. So, my feeling about the rewards are a lot of times, since it's 10% off of $20 or more, you're basically getting most of your shipping back. When you get your reward, if you spend like $75 or whatever, you're basically getting your shipping back on a normal day. But when they have a free shipping day, you really get this, you get the shipping cost plus that reward, and that makes it an extra big bonus. So right now is a great time to stock up. I'm going to place an order for some cardstock stuff I hate to buy at full price and pay shipping for. So cardstock colors, adhesives, envelopes. The envelopes for A2 are the medium envelopes, and I am just gonna stock up. This is a great time to buy several packs and just stock up. The other thing I really want to buy, did you guys see I posted, Sarah likes to go live and show kits and things on the Stampin' Up! Channel. And I shared that to my group, and she did that super cute little mini album using flip flaps as the pages. I'll tell you what, I'm totally making one. I think it's a great idea. You basically just stack all the pages, and you have these little mini page protectors, so to speak. And that is a perfect way to use, to put all my flower pictures that I take this time of year. Every year, every time my azaleas bloom, every time my daffodils come up, every time my tulips pop, I'm taking pictures like crazy. I'm like, I don't want a whole album of just flowers, flowers, flowers. So a mini album would be perfect for that. And I think that may be one of my projects coming up. I may case her idea and use different papers and some of the new florals and things. I just think it's a great idea. I also don't want you to forget that the end of May, I am going to pick a date. I haven't picked a date yet because I haven't heard from too many people yet. So if you buy that floral bouquet kit, it is just gorgeous. I showed those last week, and I want to do that as a kit together where we're all can work on it at once. I just think it'll be really fun to make these bouquets. They're just gorgeous, you guys. Gorgeous. So that is another thing you could add on to an order now and get free shipping if you're interested in joining me. I think so far I have 3, maybe 4 people that I've heard from who have ordered the floral bouquets so that we can play with that. And finally, I want to have a stash buster this Friday night, and I am excited about that. Let me just tell you about this first. So somebody, I was at a bridal shower over the weekend, and somebody asked me for my YouTube name, my YouTube channel, and they were having trouble finding me based on my name, Connie Hart. First of all, Connie Hart is a super common name. There are a million people named Connie who are about 10 years older than me. Most people named Connie, it must have been a super popular name like in the late 50s, because most of the people who are named Connie are that age. I was born in 65. So, yeah. So if you search for me by Connie Sam, that is my other YouTube address. You'll find me. Connie Crafts is what I've always called my Facebook channel. And so that's what I named my YouTube channel, not realizing that every Connie under the sun crafts. Who knew? We must all be very similar. I'd like to meet them all. But anyway, at Connie Sam is how you'll find me on YouTube, or even here. If you type that in, it's easier to find me if you're having trouble. The other thing I want to show you really quick, for people who are scrapbookers who order from me this month, I made a really fun page that I am going to be sending. I was going to adjust my camera, but geesh, who knew it was going to be so hard? Okay, so this layout uses the Latte Love set or whatever. I love it so much, and I love the color schemes, and I love these papers, and I've been wanting to do a coffee themed layout for people for a long time. And the nice thing is I made the title, you can leave it off or do your own title, but I thought Just Brew It is kind of fun for a lot of things, like you could put a lot of different pictures on here. They wouldn't have to be coffee themed if you do a pun and play on words. Anyway, so I kind of made this like a puzzle page. I have no plans on showing this on my page on how to make it, but I just thought I would show you. I could use the same sort of style with other papers, and just show you how to put that layout together. The other, okay, so Stash Buster. So the reason I decided to do a Stash Buster, twofold. Steve is at the racetrack this weekend. He leaves tomorrow, and it snuck up on me. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have this weekend free and I can craft. And so perfect time to make cards. Sorry, I'm trying to drink my coffee here. And I got this. This is a Color Play Playball paper pack. And I thought it would be really nice to make some masculine cards. And I decided to do like a double gatefold. That's my thought, as a double gatefold. This paper pack is so different because it does not have any ephemera. It doesn't have anything, no stickers or anything. I got it for like $3. And so it's different than like the Echo Park papers and stuff. I have to create all of my own, you know, decorations or whatever. And this page right there is, you know, there's 2 pages of that is like the pocket things that you can cut apart. So I thought Noelle kind of gave me this idea of using my popcorn set to put on the front, like, you know, popcorn. I made a pretzel. I'm going to make a little baseball. I just need to make some of these for every card. When I show the popcorn set in the next week or 2, I'll show you how I made the popcorn box so that you don't feel like you have to purchase a die or something, because it's not that hard. And you can see my popcorns are all just a little different. That's because the way I make them is kind of unique, and I think it'll be fun to do. So if you want to join me for that, that'll be Friday at 6 p.m. because I want to do it early enough so that I'm not dragging by the time we're done. I think last time the Stash Buster went so late, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so tired. And I was losing people because it was getting to be too late. I think a couple hours is plenty. So anyway, today, yeah, that popcorn set's cool, isn't it, Heather? Anyway, today I want to talk graduation because the graduations come and go. It seems like you get one and then you don't have another graduation for like 5 years or something. You know, these graduations, they go in clumps. I told you I have cousins who have kids who are graduating now. And so, the last 2 or 3 years, I've had at least 1, if not 2 graduations per year. And this card is one that I have made many times. It's my go-to graduation card, and I have been making it for so long. I don't even think about buying graduation sets anymore. So the idea is that you have a top and a bottom the same size. And I did 6 by 6, right? And this is really heavy cardstock. So if you were using, say you were using the Stampin' Up! Black, or maybe you're doing a school color or something, and you need, you know, a different color, like real red or something, I would recommend taking 2 pieces and gluing them together to make them sturdier, because this card is going to get a lot of action. I'll show you what I mean. And then basically it has a little circle on the top that I just used a punch. This is a 1-inch punch. You could make it any size you want, to make the little top dealy button, whatever, that's on the top of graduation hats. I have no idea what they call that. And then I made a tassel, which I can show you how I made the tassel. What's really fun is making a tassel in a school color. It's really fun. Like, I like to look up the school colors for the person who's graduating and then coordinate it, you know? And then basically this lifts, wah, and it has this giant accordion. Boy, is this hard to show on a video. But you can see each side has these accordion folded zigzaggy pieces, and each little square is decorated a little differently, and I used orange and black because that's Urbana Tiger's orange and black. And there is a new stamp set, lined tiger stamp set that would be perfect with this. It's just not available yet, but I'm getting it just for the tiger, if no other reason. But this is really cool, and I always try to leave at least one square open so that I can write on it, you know, something in my own writing, or I'll put, and sometimes on the top, I'll put the year, like 2025, you know, in die cut numbers, just to make it kind of cool. Now, this looks so simple. It is pretty simple, but it's time consuming because each of these little squares needs a decoration of some kind, and adding color really helps. And you'll see that some of mine don't have color. You know, some of them are just white and some of them have color, and some of them I matted like that. And I just want to kind of, and then on the inside, you can see the inside, I put glitter paper or foil, and then I just did giant stars. And what's cool about this is you can put a little envelope with money on the inside of here, or a gift card. You can make a little pocket. This is definitely a fun card. And then, you know, I make this 6 by 6, which makes it like already it stands out, right? And let's just say you're like, no, I do not have 6 by 6 envelopes. How the heck am I going to give this to somebody? Well, this, for example, is a piece of the packaging that Stampin' Up, you know, I think the embossing folder came in this. Surely you have packaging from something that is at least 6 inches across. And look, this will be a perfect envelope for this card. You see how cool? It'll fit perfectly in there. And it's a little thicker than your normal card, so you're not talking about cheap postage. This is like, if you mail it, you might even put it in a bubble mailer. It's worth it. It's a graduation. It's just something that, you know, you're not going to do every day. It's a special thing, and you want your card to stand out because you're the card maker, right? You're the cool crafter. So I cut 4 strips, 1 for each side, and these are 2 inches and by 10 inches, 2 by 10. Now, why did I pick 2 by 10? 2 inches fits perfectly on here so that the mechanism will fold and not overlap right there. So that's why I made them 2 inches wide. Now, I made them 10 because I needed 4 squares. Well, that's 8 inches, right? Now, let's just say you want to make this crazy. I've made a few of these where I made them extra long, where I added more of these. And, you know, there might have been a couple more and it opened up even wider. And if you do that, every time you want to add another square, you just add another 2 inches, another 2 inches, another 2 inches, okay? So you can adjust this any way you want. It just opens and closes just like that. Okay, so let me get out my little scoring board here. And let's score. So what I want is, this is 10 inches. So I'm going to have 1 inch on each end as a flap that will attach to my 6-inch piece. I just randomly chose that, but you can see right there how it attaches. I just need a flap to glue to it, right? And then you just go every 2 inches. So here's a 3, here's a 5, here's a 7, and then of course 9, right? And so I'm gonna do that for each one. So I have a 1 inch flap, and then I have 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, and then I have a 1-inch flap. Okay, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And the fourth one. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. There you go. So that's basically the card. 2 6-inch pieces of cardstock, a circle for the little toppy thing, and 4 of these pieces. And then we just need to make a tassel. The way I make a tassel, you can use anything. DMC floss, jute. You could use the gold. Look at my gold. I need to take better care when I'm removing this stuff from my little tube, because look at how crazy that looks. But basically you can use the gold from Stampin' Up, which I obviously, it's on the last chance right now. I may replace it because I love this stuff. It's thick enough that it's easy to tie, and it's thin enough that it looks fine. You know what I mean? It's not like this cord. This cord right here I got from Daisy Lane. She had it on she had tons of it and it was dirt cheap. And so I'm just going to show you how I do these tassels. So I kind of decide how long I want the tassel to be, and I usually choose about the length of my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to put the end down here by my pinky, and I'm just going to wrap and wrap and wrap like this. And then at the top, I'm going to pinch it together, and I'm gonna cut a piece, 4 or 5 inches long, like that, and I'm gonna slip it into those loops, and I'm gonna tie it. I'm gonna tie a knot. Okay. See how fiddly this stuff is, but it really is cool to use like DMC floss, like embroidery floss or something in a school color. Isn't that cool? So there's your top of your tassel, and you still have this bottom, and I am going to cut it. And before I cut all my loops at the bottom, I want to wrap. I'm gonna put this like this and hold it with my thumb, and I'm gonna just wrap this around. Wrap, wrap, wrap. And you've seen tassels. I usually do a couple of layers. Try to get that out of the way. Like this, okay? And then basically, there's your tassel. Now, I like to use, I'm gonna cut that. I like to use a glue dot or glue to kind of hold that in place. Like this dries clear, so I can just kind of do that number and kind of hold it in place with my thumb while it's sort of setting up. Now I can use my scissors and take these loops and cut through them. And you end up with this tassel like this. Now, this takes a moment to dry and to hold, and DMC floss is so easy, but this stuff is slippery. I don't know what this cording is. Like I said, I got it discount cheap. I'm just gonna put a clip on it to hold it off camera, because I don't really need it at this moment because I have one made already. You can see it's coming undone a little bit. This, I probably should have used tacky glue or hot glue to hold it because it's like, it's got a sheen. It's definitely an interesting kind of stuff. Okay, so before I do the top, I'm going to set the top aside. I'm going to set the little dot for the top aside, and I'm going to set my tassel aside. Crazy tassel wants to come unglued from me. It's really annoying. Just saying, really annoying. Hold on, let me get another clip for it, for this one, since I put more glue on it. I use a lot of binder clips. You could use your tweezer. That's another great way to hold things if you need another set of hands. So here's the thing. We need this folded in on the top and the bottom so that it will attach to our little piece here. And then we're just going to, you know, zigzag it back and forth to make an accordion. And then you just press it. So you're going to do all 4 of those. Just remember that the top and the bottom, you want those folded in a way that they won't be like this on your paper, on your bottom. It'll be hidden like that. Okay. So this card, obviously, no time flat, right? I'm folding in my ends, back and forth. This is so easy until you go to decorate. And then you're like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of little squares here. So I'm not going to decorate all of these at this moment, but I do want to give you some cool ideas on how to do this. Now, I like to attach these before I decorate. You would not have to do that. You could just decorate them flat. It's easier to stamp on them and all of that kind of stuff. But I like to know, you know, where I'm at. So what I do is I use a ruler. Like here, if I use this Stampin' Up! Ruler on here, I want this piece to be centered. So I'm going to put adhesive on here, and then I am going to center it. It's at the 15 mark. Half of that would be 7.5. So there. I'm just going to put that kind of at the center, at the edge right there of that. And I'm going to do that all the way around. So take each piece and glue it. Now I'm going to do this one. You can use any centering style ruler system that you have. You could eyeball it. Although I'm good at eyeballing, and I still will get this, you know, too far over sometimes, and the problem is they get hitched up in each other if you get them too far to one side. So glue on the flap goes down, and it gets centered right there. This card, it's kind of funny because like every cousin, I have a lot of cousins, you guys. My mother had 9. There was, she came from a family of 9, and they all had, you know, kids, and then they have kids. And so there's a lot of people in my family. And so I just, I have a lot of cousins, and I don't know if they're called cousins or cousins removed. I'm so confused. I get that confused every time I talk about my cousin's kids. I keep thinking that they're cousins once removed, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, because they might be second cousins. There you go. Ta-da! Look at that. Okay, so now you have this weird spider looking thing. And if you flip it over, that'll be the side you're decorating, right? This will be the side that shows. And so you just kind of work, you work on it a little at a time. Now, if you want to use colored squares like I did, I just cut these like 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, or 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, whatever is. I just wanted a little border on each one, and you could just put colored squares on all of them and then glue them on, or you could even make just white squares like I did here. This is just a white square that I stamped and glued on, or you can stamp direct onto the actual piece. So I want to give you some ideas on what to put on here, because I don't have a graduation stamp, right? Okay, well, were you in celebration? Did you perhaps pick up this day to celebrate? This was the one that I kept telling everybody, this is a winner. This is a biggie. I hope everyone got it, because this one is one of the few Stampin' Up! Sets that has everything all in one that I need for graduation. Sorry, drinking more coffee. Okay, so you have congrats, which is great. You have this cool little pom-pom, which is supposed to be on top of this as a party hat, I think. But I would use this as like a, one of those horns that people yell through. And then confetti, hooray, all day, your way. Look at this. And these are perfect. Almost everything on here other than happy birthday could be used for graduation. Okay, that's no longer available though, right? So maybe you have this one more year set. That little dog is so darn cute. Wouldn't that be cute on one of those little squares? You have these little sparkle things that you could use to put all over. Cake Celebrations has the little twinkler things. You have some flowers, the word celebrate, happy day, the little candles. I mean, any of that would work. For the books, maybe you have this set. For the books, you're a solid 5-star, and you can fill that out in their school colors that coordinate. You could put the books on there with the little glasses, and this one's for the books. For you can have the little hearts, super cute. This Be My Valentine, if you have this one, look at the little hearts, that would be cute. You could use the wings as a giant heart. These are so cool, and the little flowers would work. If you have everyday arches, look at this, reach for the stars and the little stars. Is that amazing? Embrace the journey. You are loved. Those are all worthwhile. This set, with you in mind, I bought it because I wanted the words, because I like the font. But these little icons would work great. Just imagine if you made these little flowers in the school colors, kind of on one of those white squares. The little stars, the hearts. I mean, you could use those pretty easily. Wildflower Celebrations. Celebrate. You could do this. This would look fabulous down in the bottom with these giant stars. Sorry, I blocked you right down there where my finger is pointing. You could just do a giant celebrate, or you could do cheers, let's party. Those are amazing. All zipped up. Congratulations. Hoping your day is the best ever. You could even change that to life. Look at the little dots, the stars, the hearts. Any of this would look good on those little squares. This little line right here, you stamp that across the bottom and you have a cute little stripe. Look at this, tags to go. Okay, this is a travel set, but for graduation, think about it. Congrats. Today marks an adventure. You're going places, right? These are all classic, like graduation kinds of things that go on cards. Enjoy. I I just love it. So, oh, and then the dies. What if you use the dies like keys for the future? Yeah, I don't know. Some play on words. Wouldn't that be fun? So I just pulled out a few of my stamps. And all of them have little pieces and parts that you can use to decorate your little squares that are on here. And so some of my stamps that I have here are from my Close to My Heart stuff, and some are from other sets, other brands. I just pulled out tons. Any of those little 1-inch, little stampers make great decorations on these little squares. Okay, so after you have decorated your pieces, right? Let me put this down. I did this one backwards, I guess. There. Okay. I don't know why I had to make noise when I did that, but I did. All right. So here is our pieces. I'm smushing them all down. I'm holding them with my fingers. Yeah, it's a pain. And then I'm going to go ahead and put glue on all of them. You could use tear and tape and just do them one at a time if it makes you feel better. I'm just gonna go for it, and I'm just gonna lay this down, and I'm just gonna line it up the best I can, just like that. And then I have my card, put together, right? And now we come to this little disc and the tassel. So what I like to do is I like to put a piece of foam tape, a dimensional or something, inside of there to pop that up so that you can wrap your tassel around it. So you don't have to use, I don't know. If you feel like one is not going to be enough, you can double it. I think one may be plenty though. I think I only used one on my other one. And basically I'm just gonna center that just like that. Ta-da. And then I'm gonna take my tassel, hopefully the glue has dried, and I'm gonna take this and I'm going to wrap it around and tie it on. Just make a knot. I say that like it's so easy. Tying knots, there's something about tying knots on camera when I'm in a hurry. They screw up every time. I don't know why, but they do. And then I'm just gonna cut that extra off. I need to get my fabric scissors out and not use my paper scissors. Look at that. Doesn't want to cut fabric. Once I usually do not use my paper snips for these fabric pieces, but anyway, you get the drift, just like that. And then you can then you have your card. Now the other thing that you could do before you glue your top on, you could go ahead and cover your bottom with something, or you can even do that now. You can see it opens up enough where you could decorate like I did. I decorated the bottom with some glitter paper. It really, you can do anything you want in there, and it will hold an envelope, a gift card, or whatever, and put the date. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. So I'm reading comments, and yes, DMC. Oh yeah. The silky DMC. You'd have the same problem with the silky though, as slippery. You might have to use a stronger glue. Let's see. Yeah. First cousins once removed. I think that's right, Stephanie. I look it up all the time. My mom was really into genealogy, and I should know that. If I would have listened to my mother, I would know that. I'm terrible about, now I look back now that she's gone, and it's like, why didn't I listen more? I tell my daughter that a lot, hoping that she'll listen to me better. Like I know anything. But, oh, and the key bundle. Yeah, that key bundle's cute. I wasn't gonna get it, and then I borrowed it from Karen, and I'm like, okay, I guess I need it. Darn it. But anyway, I went through a lot of other sets that aren't that are coming out in May. There's a couple of adventure sets that would work perfectly for this, because you know you're basically wishing them a happy future. And so this is just a cool kind of card to make for people who are graduating, and I have done tons of these, so I hope that you like it. That's basically all I've got. Gosh, look at me on here for such a short time, and I even jabbered for a while. I did go ahead and I broke down and I bought some black 6x6 envelopes to hold these, but these will work just fine. These packaging envelopes work great. So look at that. And wouldn't that be a fun card to get? And just imagine if you really know the person well, like my cousins, I could go and print 2x2 photos and put a bunch of photos on here. What a keepsake that would be. That would be incredible. So, okay, that's what I've got. Now, Friday during the day, I will probably go live with a card or something small. But Friday at 6, I'll go live and I'll be doing a Stash Buster. I would love for you to join me. I'm going to spend the rest of this afternoon making things to go on top of my card. I will post the card because I know a lot of you were asking for dimensions for the card I plan to use. And I think to make it simple, I'm just going to make them all the same style. So I'll post that in case you want to join me, and you can make your cards ahead if you want. So I'll be making them during the Stash Buster because I don't have time between now and then to do that. I'll be helping Steve get ready for the racetrack tomorrow. So, all right. Thank you. And it's so nice that I'm not here totally alone because you're all out in the nice weather. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Bye-bye.